Dear her, you never introduced yourself properly. You just took a short glance through deep neon lights and handed me rain. Clammy and alone, I paced through fever-dreamed back streets, never turned to expect danger with you by my side. You proceeded to welcome me with restless nights under a blanket of warm humidity and erratic movements. At first, I could not tell if you were clamorous chaos or a closely controlled system of discipline. I struggled through the unfamiliarity of our silence, but alas, through early morning silence came reflection. And that is when I first fell for you. Somewhere between exhaustion and curiosity grew a light, a warm light that would grow as it arose from the darkness, reflecting in the slick puddles and shoot past on a moped, dissolving into the night. I did not understand you then, but I think that was the beginning. The start of an infatuation creeping into me, but unrequited by your nature, you were impossible to hold on to from day one. But somewhere along the way, your strangeness became routine. Unconsciously, I began singing your subtle rhythms in return, waiting on reds, as if I had been doing it my whole life. I learned your moods through your weather, for you were no different day or night. It was simply just an outfit change in preparation for the hordes of bustling markets awaking. Here is when the once annoying digitized Beethoven bin trucks stopped sounding foreign and began acting as the trumpets for the start of a war in which soldiers would scramble with pink sacks to reach them in time. Here is when your cold daggers from the sky no longer interrupted me, but returned me from heat-induced fantasies to myself. Here, I began carrying pieces of you without realizing, and even your disappointment became familiar. I forgave your flat, unsurfable oceans because your pale white shorelines held me as a mother would an infant. The exhaustion of rollercoastered emotions like bus rides and musical chairs with old folks became secretly addictive. But through this I learned your kindness is rarely loud, boastful, or conditional. Throughout the concrete jungle of music, small acts of compassion echoed subtly, and it led me to stop wondering how to understand you fully, but let flow like the sea of commuters from a freshly turned, piercing, green walking light. Maybe love begins in the fleeting moment. Curiosity morphs into comfort as a chrysalis sheds from a caterpillar, and that comfort I only felt with you. You never asked me to belong, but somehow it made me stay longer, and each time I returned to you, I was returning to a fragment of home. Even now, I am still translating your detailed enigma, reaching for the closeness that remains untouchable. But maybe this is the reason I loved you, because you were never fully just mine. Never fully letting me in, but never pushing me away either. I think I long for the parts of you I could never completely understand. Somewhere between your mountains and your midnight streets, I misplaced parts of my soul. I arrived a visitor, and you became my home before I realized I was even homesick for you. I will still hear you in traffic, smell you when rain hits warm concrete. I will remember your beating heart from across the world. Loving you felt like reaching through your thick mountain fog for something that could not be held. You were never mine to keep, and maybe the reason I cannot forget you is because I never fully found you. Perhaps love is exactly that, remaining enchanted by that which stays just out of reach. And part of me will remain at your side, wandering through your streets at night, frantically turning to say something to you and realizing you're not there. I left you long before I emotionally departed. Part of me will always be waiting companionless beneath your reign.